All right, we're back. So I wanted to take this time to go through my career path in sports. I think a lot of people want to know, how did I even get here? I am the director of partnerships for a major league sports team. And a lot of people ask, how on earth did you even end up in your career path? Did you even know about it growing up? Did you study sports management? What did you do? So the idea of this video is to really talk through my career path and hope that maybe somewhere along those lines, you can find a eureka moment that will allow you to jump into your career working in the sports. I actually went to school at Florida Atlantic University, where I started off as a journalism major. I thought I wanted to be the next Aaron Andrews, be on the TV reporting sports news, and that's really what I thought I wanted to do. I did an internship at NBC Miami, where I interned an investigative reporter. He was fantastic, and he was in the streets investigating all the different crime. Then we go back to the studio and cut up all the film. In the studio, I kind of made my way around to notice all the little nuances going on between the anchors and the sports journalists and the writers and the video men. And I realized that that was just a lot for me. It just didn't feel like the best fit. Although I enjoyed my time at NBC Miami as an intern, it just made me realize that maybe being a sports journalist isn't what I want to do. It was a scary thought, because I did 4 years of college only to end up not doing what I thought I was going to do in the first place. So sadly, I actually moved back in with my parents and went to work at Universal Studios. I was a consumer research person. So basically, I was that annoying person at the theme park that would bug people, taking a survey after they had a long, fun day at Universal Studios. I was asking them to take 20-minute surveys of their experience. Definitely was not appreciated. Probably the last person that people wanted to see in the theme parks. But little did I know, that experience may have been the mustard seed of foreshadowing for what I would be doing later on in the future. It was at Universal Studios, hated my life, hated what I was doing, couldn't believe that I did all that work. And I saw this newspaper article one day talking about a sport management program that would allow you to get your business degree and then also intern with all these different sports teams. And I thought in my mind, I wanted to be a sports journalist, didn't know how to do it, but shoot, maybe this was my path. Maybe journalism wasn't what I wanted to do in sports, but maybe business was. And so I drove 2 hours to University of South Florida, knocked on their door, and basically said, I want in. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I want into this program. This is my opportunity to show you that I have what it takes to be a sports business person. And so tests later, time went by, failed tests, by the way. It took me some time to actually get into the program, but I got in. And from there, it was really where I was able to learn all that I could know about sports. I had no clue about all the different avenues that you could take being a sports business person. I didn't know about the sales side. I didn't know about the partnership side. I didn't know about the operations side. I didn't know anything. And in that program at the University of South Florida, I was able to really learn all of what it is to be working in sports. I was able to network with individuals. I was able to really learn a ton over my 2 years. And one of the things that my professor told me was that he believed that I would be a really good salesperson. And I told him there is never a day in hell that I would be working in sales. Not interested, not something I want to do. And he told me I was wrong. And I told him he was wrong. And then we went back and forth for about a year until I had the sales class that really made me realize that is not exactly what I thought sales was. So I thought sales was a person at the ticket window, not knocking them, or a person in the back lot selling tickets out of their jackets, maybe this weird car salesy person that no one wanted to talk to going up into the game. Didn't realize that it's actually the lifeblood of our business. So I decided, after learning from a professor that also was a sports executive at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I decided, shoot, I really need to try this out. From there, I told my professor, networked a little bit more, and he helped me get a job with the Miami Dolphins. So I started off my career with the Miami Dolphins, and that was really the beginning of my sales journey. Started there and didn't really do the best. It was kind of one of those things where I failed pretty badly for the first couple of months. I thought I was going to get fired, because in those sales programs, you either sell or you don't, or you get out, right? And so I thought I was going to get fired. I told them that I didn't know if I was cut out for this. There was times where I just thought that they were going to fire me on the spot. And finally, I had a wake-up call moment where I was like, I either want this or I don't. And if I want this, if I really want to be a sports executive, I need to give this 150%. I need to give it everything. If I can give this everything, then the sky is the limit. And so that switch turned on, and I'll tell you that I became one of the top sellers for the Miami Dolphins in the time that I was there. I moved on from an inside sales rep to a group sales rep. They then moved me over to a business development rep where I was asking for managerial positions because I felt I was kind of feeling myself at that time. And I kept getting hit with walls. I kept getting, hey, no, you're not ready to be a manager, but we love your selling style. Keep doing it. And I was like, no, I think I want to be a manager. I want to manage people. I want to help people. From there, I left the Dolphins and I packed up all my stuff. I left a lot of things that I loved in Miami at the time, and I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. It was the beginning of the hardest times of my life. At one point, I slept in a hotel for 2 weeks, and I was called up to start a football team. It was a spring football league. I was the director of sales for, and if you look it up, it turned out to be the Fire Fest of sports. It just did not work very well at all. So I left everything that I knew in Miami, moved to Atlanta, only to work for a team that ended up failing 7 months later. I got an email on my desktop that said, thank you for your services, but you are no longer part of this organization. The organization has folded. Please take all of your things. That's it. I did all this. I took that risk. I moved to Atlanta only for a league to fail. And luckily enough, through all of my connections that I made at the University of South Florida and Teamwork Online, the New Orleans Saints and Pelicans called. So obviously, I did apply for the job, but they called because of all of the stir fest that was happening and the news that was happening with the league that folded. And that helped me really propel me into a position where I can manage their inside sales team. So I moved over from Atlanta to New Orleans. I managed the inside sales team for the football team that was there and did that for 2 years. And then they asked me to move to Birmingham to start up a G League team that I did for a couple of years. From there, I just kept gaining all the experiences of working for a startup and then working for an NFL NBA team, then working to start up a G League team. And then I got a call from a guy that I met 10 years prior under the University of South Florida in one of their networking events. He called and asked about a position with a team in Major League Baseball, and the rest was history. I work for a team in Major League Baseball on the sponsorship side, and I love it. I kind of want to bring this back to where I was asking people to take surveys at Universal Studios, and I was sad and kicking myself because I didn't know how this happened to me. All of those skills that I needed and that I developed doing that really hard work at Universal Studio has helped me not be afraid to approach people and not be afraid of getting rejected over and over and not being afraid of objections in my current job. And so that's been my career journey, and there's so much more to go and so much more to say. I've tried to keep this video somewhat short, but the idea here is that, remember, in everything that you do, it's only setting you up for something greater. And in my career, I've noticed that every single time I took the opportunity to take that leap of faith and do something that was scary, whether that's move to Atlanta with nowhere to live, or move to Birmingham and start up a G League team, or even move to Minnesota and being up north. I've never been this far out in the north before. Every single time I've taken those opportunities has been the time that I've grown the most. So I would encourage you that if you are looking to have a career in the sports industry, take those leaps of faith. Don't be afraid to get rejected. Don't be afraid of the no's. You're going to have a ton of interviews and you're not going to get yeses to all of them. And that's okay. The point is that every single time that you're going through those interviews, you are training yourself for what's to come and what's greater out there. If you want to learn more, feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to continue to build off of this platform, and you may hear this story evolve and change as I grow in my career. But I would love to talk to you. So take this, subscribe to my channel, follow all my links, and watch me grow as I continue my program here on all of my socials. Thanks.